As a lot of you know, our mission trip team, the team that's tied to YouthWorks, just recently got back from Benton Harbor, Michigan. And I know our kids have been very blessed to be able to go with 4 godly adults, 4 godly leaders that have a lot of experience and make it an awesome trip for the kids. Fortunately, there's 2 people here that were on the trip. Unfortunately, there's 3 of them that aren't here this morning that can't be here, and including Josh, who won't be here for a couple of weeks. So I'm actually going to call up Cheryl, one of the leaders, to talk about this, and my daughter Rachel. They left last Saturday morning, and they got back Friday night about 9 o'clock. So Cheryl, I'll let you talk first.
Well, I'm sure we have a lot to talk about, right, Rachel? Yeah, it was, he already told you kind of where we're going in that, and I think we'll just share what we did there and where we seen God moving there. So I'm going to let you start, Rachel.
Oh, okay. All right, so this past week, I was in Ed and Molly's group, and so our group, we first went to the beach and cleaned up like invasive species, and they were like, it was everywhere. So, I mean, that was kind of cool. Like the lady, her name was Carol, and she just loves the beaches, and she just volunteers like all the time just to go and clean it up, and it's just amazing. Oh, there's a picture of all our bags of the invasive species. And then I actually went back the next day, and we had more bags added to that. And then our group went to this lady's named Betty's house, and we actually painted 2 of her bedrooms. And one of the oldest son, it was kind of amazing. Like, he actually wants to be a pastor, and he's only 14 years old. And he would just come up and just kind of check on how everything was going. And he would just be like, oh, thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I'm just like, it's no problem. I'm just here to help you guys. And we actually finished like the 2 walls we had started. Like Eddie and I painted one room, and we got both coats done. And so we kind of power painted. So, and it was we actually kind of like learned a little bit about their family. Her oldest daughter actually got killed in a car accident, and so there was like their fire alarms were beeping, so we were going to change their batteries for them. Well, there was one that kept beeping, and it was in her daughter's room, and she would not, ever since she died, she would not go in that room. So, and she wouldn't let us go in there, so it's kind of a sad story there. But after that, we actually went to Boys and Girls Club, and that was probably one of my favorite things to do. But it was just kind of amazing. Like, we were there for 2 minutes, and this girl already came up and was like, I want a group hug, and it was kind of funny. But like, you're there, and they just claim you. Like, they don't know you, but they're just like, you're coming with me. But yeah, it's just amazing. And that whole program is just awesome. Like, they just made a new building in 2012. And so, and then, I'm just trying to think what else I did. Oh, we went to this lady named Emma's garden, and we like weeded for her, and it was just, yeah, she was very thankful for that. And she does a really nice job there. She volunteers her hours, and yeah, that was my week.
And we all had different things we did. Now, I wasn't with Rachel, so she did a lot. She went to Boys and Girls Club, and I heard really amazing stories from there, how those kids are just so respectful, and it's really tough. It's very sad, and you know how much it costs them to go to this program, and it's for the year is $5. And a lot of the people there can't even afford it. And I know Molly and Ed did sponsor a family to go there for the year, and because it is really good. And what I heard, the instructors also take those on like their own kids. They call their instructor Mama, right? And a lot of the women, it's more women, which is interesting. So we could be praying for the men to step up there too. The kids will call their instructors Mama, and they're not easy on those kids, right? What I heard, and but they're really, it was really a really good program that they had there. Also, she talked about carols. When we did the invasive species, which was really unique because we all got to do this as a whole group the first day, with the other group from Wisconsin, and which we never, usually you're broke up into groups and we never can do it together. So that was really unique, and we were very blessed to be able to be together. But these are all in the sand dunes, so there were a lot. And we're really good weed pickers, so if anyone needs help in their gardens, we surely can help you. I think we can identify a plant and a weed now. But that Carol, she really is, she's really amazing and just very compassionate. And that's one thing I did learn through this community, how compassionate. Benton Harbor, our group went there like maybe 15 years ago. A mission team went there, and they were in pretty tough shape. And there is progress. Now that we went this year, you can see the progress. Not that I could see it because I wasn't there, but from what they have been, the community had said, there is progress. It's still pretty abandoned. It's a racial thing, that Benton Harbor, and then across the river is St. Joe's. And when you cross that river, you definitely see a big difference in the community. And but they're working through it, and you wouldn't believe all the churches that are in Benton Harbor. It's incredible, and they're full. And yeah, I mean, it was really amazing in how those churches are also reaching out and trying to fight through the racial tension between them, and very much inviting. And yeah, I learned a lot there. And then she talked about also Miss Emma. She is an incredible, incredible woman. She was like 70-something, you would never know. And her garden, I have a lot of pictures, but her garden looks like it should be in Better Homes and Garden. And what she did, God put this in her heart to do this for the community. Her corner where this garden was, she bought this land. It's in town. And it was just an open area, kind of like back here. And she used it and made this garden. It was a big gang area. And you can also still see there were tennis shoes hanging up on the wire on that corner. And she just really fought and fought and fought and fought and built this garden. And now the gangs have kind of moved. They respect her. And what she's doing with this garden, she also has her own radio talk show. She's wrote children's books. She has this garden to help teach people to take care of their bodies, the temple that God lives in. She wants people to come in and learn a skill about gardening and about staying healthy. She wants kids to come in and be a part of it, and she charges nothing. Whoever comes in and helps in that garden, she gives all that she gives to the community, the food, nothing. I mean, she gives them all. So and so much more. There is so much more with her. And not only that, I got opportunity to work with her, and then when we got done doing what she wanted to do in that garden that day, we went just down the corner. She's like, oh, I have a friend who her husband just died. And she goes, we really need to take care of the back of her yard, not knowing what that was. We went over there, and in the back, it was an alley. In the weeds, if Casey was here, he were higher than the fence. And we just, we're really limited on what we have to work with. It'd been nice to have a lawnmower just to knock her down. But we had a weed whacker and shovel and our hands. So that's what we did. We just picked and whacked and picked and dug and worked our way, and she was just so happy that, Miss Emma looks after her community. She really, truly does. And it just made me think, why aren't we doing that? Does it take a hardship to make us think about doing that? I don't know. Anyway, so it was just amazing to see how the community really, really look after each other without asking or complaining or anything in return. So yeah, we did that. And then I did get to go to their senior center And they loved, Casey has a new job. He is the ultimate bingo caller. They really enjoyed him. And it was great. That was really refreshing and nice, and just learning about them. But you can also see there's a little bit of that racial tension there too. But overall, we were very, very, we also got to do on Thursday nights, we do foot washing. And we were so blessed. We got to do it on the lake, in Lake Michigan. It was amazing. And the weather held out for us because they were saying 80% chance of rain. And it held out for us. And that was just something I think I'll never forget. And I think the kids won't either. I mean, that was really, really awesome. We also had, which Pastor knows about, we had an issue going down with a vehicle, which God's protection every year is, just so amazing, and his love for this missions is amazing. But about halfway to Chicago, we were going to stop in Chicago and stay in Chicago. Ed, he was driving the trailer, or the van with the trailer, and we were following behind. And he called us and he said, is there something wrong with my tires? And we looked, and we really couldn't definitely see it. It looked pretty normal and kept going, but he had noticed that there was this vibration. So when we got to Chicago where we were staying, he ran to Midas and said, is something wrong here? I think. And they said, well, it could be the shocks, but you're safe to drive it. That's what they said. So we just went to Michigan from there after that. Got to Michigan, and the tire was kind of both of them were doing this in the van. And got there, and the guy, he brought it to the shop, and the guy said the belt and the tires were broke. And I don't know how the tire didn't burst while you were driving. And that wouldn't have been very good. So we were just so thankful. God is so faithful to us and his love and protection. So, yeah. Any questions? In a nutshell, that's that.